Hello everyone and welcome to Guwahati Meetup. So the topic for our today's discussion is API governance and custom rule set. The organizer for this meetup is myself. So I'm a MuleSoft ambassador working as associate solution architect at Epicero. I have overall of 7+ of years of experience and 5+ years in MuleSoft. I'm certified developer, architect, GTM champion, and I'm a leader for Guwahati and Lucknow group. Over to our speaker, Gajanan. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, sure. Hello everyone, and thanks for joining today. So myself is Gazanand. I have 10 years of IT experience. All experience I have in an integration domain only. In my journey, I come across multiple integration products like MuleSoft, OSB, SOA, IP switch, and all. So I'm a MuleSoft developer, certified integration and platform as well. Uh, Currently, I am contributing to MuleSoft community as a mentor and MuleSoft speaker. And if anyone wants to connect with me, they can connect on a LinkedIn.
Thank you so much, Gajan. Thank you so much for taking it up. Even though you have a busy schedule, thanks for taking it up and making it possible. And thanks for all the attendee to join us today. Some safe harbor statements. So both the speaker and the host are organizing this meetup in individual capacity only. We are not representing our companies here. This presentation is strictly for learning purpose only. Organizer or presenter do not hold any responsibility that same solution will work for your business requirement. This presentation is not meant for any promotional activities. Some housekeeping. So the recording of the session will be shared in the event page within 24 hours, and I will share the link of the event page in the chat. So after few hours, you can find the recording over there. Feel free to ask your question. You can put it on chat. You can unmute your mic and you can ask. But for this session, we'll request let the presenter complete the presentation and demo, and then at the end we'll take up all the questions. Okay, so you can note it down either in the chat, you can keep it with yourself, and later on when we'll start our Q&A, you can ask at that time. And the last one, the feedback one, and please, this is very much important for both the organizer, speaker, and the group. Please give your feedback, your valuable feedback to us, and which will help us to improvise both the organizer, group, and speaker. Also, you can suggest what next topic you want from us, and we'll try to arrange those topic for you. So over to you, Gajanan. I will just stop sharing and now you can share your screen and you can continue.
Perfect. Thanks, Abhishek, for great introduction. Let me share my screen quickly. Yep. Are you able to see?
Yeah, yeah.
All
Visible.
right. So let's jump into the agenda today. Okay. So today's agenda, as Abhishek said, we will walk you through API governance, how it is important for us, and what MuleSoft provider rule sets we have, and how we can utilize these rule sets to govern our APIs. And I will give you the brief demo by using these default rule sets. And after that, we'll talk about the custom governance rule set. So sometimes out of the box rule sets that MuleSoft provided, it's not sufficient for the organization, and they have there some sort of best practices and guidelines. So we how we can you customize it and use it. Okay, for that also we have a demo. At the end we have a trivia quiz. Okay, so that is pretty much for agenda level. Now let's quickly jump into the API governance. So uh, what is API governance is all about? API governance is recently MuleSoft provided us release a universal API management capability, right? It's a great capability. Under that, we have a multiple components like API governance, experience hub, Flex gateway, or not what, right? So the agenda of this API universal API management capability is we can manage, secure, and govern our APIs under single umbrella. Uh, it doesn't matter in which technology we are having our API built, or in which technology or platform our API is deployed. So uh, MuleSoft always give a great features to for the developers or the industries to enhance their productivity and business, right? So this is one of the best features they provided us. So API governance is a part of any point platform only. If you log in into the any platform, you very much you can see the API governance components available. You can create a profile and govern your API there, right? So API governance, how and why it is so important. API governance allow you to apply the rule set, standards or best practices that you want your API should be follow, right, as an API lifecycle. And it's also give the organizations to maintain the consistency and quality of your API. And the best thing is API with this capability, it empowers the API design phase or also overall API life cycles. Or we can say it is centralized governance place where we can ensure that our APIs follows best practices, industry standard, security standards and all, right? And it also help you to monitor and address the conformance across the organization at design level. So we have both the option. We can at the design level also we can uh, address the conference, or we can check all the standard and best practices. And also at if you really don't want to use a design center further, you can utilize this things from what is say API governance profile. You can see all the status there, how your API is actually behaving, right? So as part of universal API management, these are the highlighted capabilities we have recently they introduced, that is API CLI. They have updated this API CLI to discover and catalog all the APIs, whether it's a MuleSoft or non MuleSoft application or API. Second is Flex Gateway. It will protect all the APIs deployed in any technology and deployed in any platform or developed in any technology, right? And then we have a API manager. They have updated the API manager to manage centrally or secure our APIs centrally, right? And then governance, API governance is moreover enforce the standards and best practices for our RAML specification or API design point of view. And the last is experience hub. It's I really don't know. It is I think it's upcoming, and through which you can create a beautiful developer portal from the exchange, and you can share with the broader audience, and also across team this portal, and they can very much see the APIs that you have built. Okay, so let's talk about what API universal API management is offering right now. So in the four sections, we categorize all the capability. You can see you can accelerate application delivery through API Design Center. Now they have give the capability to add rule set as a dependency, and you can very much validate your best practices or guidelines or security standards at design level only. And also they have introduced, you can also create a asynchronous API as well. And when we talk about API platform CLI, they have added few more commands that help you to automate your or you can govern or manage your API through CLI, CI/CD pipelines or any automation you can plug in, right? You can discover and use for non-MuleSoft API as well. Okay, so for implement modern architecture level, they come up with the new Flex Gateway. Now this Flex Gateway, you already know, this is a, ultra fast gateway to manage or secure your APIs running anywhere. Okay, the third is how we are gaining the consistency in security and quality. These two capability like API governances give you the consistent quality and conformance about your APIs. And API through API manager, you can very well apply the policy and secure them. And they have recently added this Flex Gateway as well, so that you can manage even non MuleSoft application. Okay, how to create vibrant API ecosystem. So there are couple of capabilities we have. Any point exchange where you can consolidate all your APIs into single place. Anyone can see that what APIs are built, and you can use it, okay, and reuse it also. And we have API community manager as well, where you can create a beautiful dashboard for your stakeholders, and you can control the accesses and all. Uh, you have to purchase the license for them. Okay, so but you can create a beautiful what you say portal. Okay, and the last one is API experience hub. with this you can create a developer portal in a minute through the templates they will provide. I really we are waiting for when it will be released so we can see the templates and how we can create the developer portals to utilize further. All right, so let's see what are the challenges before API governance. What are the different challenges that we are facing, and how the API governance is helping us. Okay, so as a API developer level, for example, in an industry or a company, we have different teams and different LOBs team. They are working and creating an APIs, but it's they are working as a siloed mode, and it's very difficult to manage. The teams and how they are documenting their standards and how they are implementing, right? So that is the one current problems you have, all the organization have. If you have big organization and different teams, so it's difficult to manage the things because they are not really interacting each other, right? So for C4E team also it's a tedious task. Second thing, friction adoption governance standards. uh, Even we have a multiple teams, then we should have a reviewer as well, right? So reviewer will do all the review in manual part, so it's a very tedious task for them, and there will be ping pong situation between developer and the reviewer. They will give some review comments and they will implement, and then they will get reviewed again, right? And also it will hamper our development timelines as well, and it will slow down our development timeline as well, right? The third one, security and compliance vulnerability. So if we are not managing our APIs, then it will definitely uh, unmanaged or unsecure will create a vulnerability in our APIs, right? So these are uh, some sort of challenges we are right now facing, and later we see how the API governance will help us out to reduce these. A few more challenges at security level, like there is if we don't have a single umbrella or single platform to control or manage or secure our API, then it's very limited visibility of the existing APIs also, right? So C4 team need to put or the organization need to put some efforts to see what are the APIs available and how we can reuse it. And it's a difficult and manual task for them to identify or discover, right? So we'll see later on how API governance will help on this. Then the manual process validation we already talked, right? So C4 team or any API governance team, they should go and validate manually. Are they following the best practices, security standards or not, right? And if, for example, if you have multiple platform to create an APIs, so multiple environments, and then we have to manage multiple console as well. So there will be a high chance of inconsistency and security risk, right? When exposing our APIs. So we'll see how the API governance will help us on this. Okay. So let's talk about API governance benefits. So how API governance, the new capability help us? It will enable you to share governance best practices. So what we can do is we can create custom or we can utilize the default MuleSoft provider provide rule sets and publish it on exchange and share with the developer, so that the different LOBs or different teams, they can use the same rule sets and govern their APIs and apply the best practices. Okay. Second, apply consistent rules at design level. Once we'll publish it and share with the developers, they will very well utilize the design center and as a dependency, and make sure that we are following the right governance rule set at design time. And if I have any issue, they can straightforward can fix that at design level only. Now we can enforce the governance within our DevOps organizations. Means like we can apply these new CLI commands or update in our CLI what we say CI/CD pipelines also. If you really don't want to go manual publishing or documentation and all, you can pretty well use CI/CD pipeline, and you can use this any point CLI commands to publish the rule set and validate the rule set and documentation as well, right? So you have a flexibility or features to add in your CI/CD pipeline as well. Like we have Sonar cubes, right? Or we have other Jenkins. Out of the box, we have REST APIs we can call through CI/CD. So same way we can utilize our CI/CD CLI new commands as well. Now it will also improve your consistency and API quality with the comprehensive view of compliance posture, right? So you can very well go and check all the status whether your APIs is validated or not conformant or conformant like that. And it reduce the review life cycle or the time, the manual effort of reviewing all these things, right? So it's reducing that also, and it's also reduced the top 10 what do you say, open web application security project security stuff we can say. So you can apply these standards at design level or your raml specification level. You can reduce that risk as well. And now it also enables you to produce consistent API specification across your enterprise. So once you will publish your best practices rule set and shared over the exchange, all the developers, the different teams, they can utilize the same, and we can you know make this consistency throughout the organization. So these are the few highlighted benefits we have. Let's talk about we talked about a lot of rule sets, so let's understand what is rule set is. Rule set is a sort of guidelines that we need to apply while developing our APIs, so that uh, we can follow the best practices as per our organization, right? So MuleSoft also provide out of the box rule set for us to govern our API, and you can also pretty well create rule sets through some sort of steps we have. So we'll talk about later on when we'll create this rule set. So these are the rule set right now available. There are 8 rule sets. Recently they have added 2 more. So we have anypoint best practices for RAML. We have authentication security best practices. We have HTTP enforcement, like our base URL should be HTTPS only. And then this is Swagger or open specification best practices, how you can implement your uh, API specification, or how you can utilize this best practice to design them. And these are the open web application security top level securities you can apply very well on your API specification, and required examples for your payloads, right? And this is newly added data graph best practices, how you can create your APIs and utilize this data graph best practices, and also async API best practices as well. Currently we are moreover, I think mostly we are working on RESTful API, but MuleSoft is providing us a capability to utilize these best practices for async API as well. Okay, so these are 8 best practice, or we can say rule set available for our API to govern. Okay, let's talk about and let's see how we can govern our APIs. So there are few steps to follow uh, when you want to govern your APIs. First, the install your API governance as CLI. That is optional. If you really don't want to use it, that's okay. But if you really fond of commands and all, you can very well install it and utilize this capability. Okay, to validate and publish and creating a documentation and all that will do through a UI part as well. So in today's session we'll walk you through some few commands, and also I will let you know how you can create uh, the custom rule set and how you can manually go and publish it. Okay, all this we'll talk about. The very first step is identify the API that you want to govern. So we like as in API led connectivity, we have a experience proc and system layers, right? But you have to identify for now mule application or non-mule application, uh, you just identify the APIs that you want to govern, and for that you have to provide some sort of categories or tags and all we'll talk about later. But first you have to make sure, like what different APIs you want to govern. Then once you're done with the identification of the APIs, now we'll create a governance profile against the rules. We'll add our different rules in that profiles, and then we'll validate our identified APIs. Okay, and then we'll monitor how the rule set the build APIs is following the rule sets or following the guidelines or not. We'll see the governance governance perform conformance status. We have a three different types of status. We'll walk you through all these three, and then if we have any issues, then we have to fix, and we can notify the developer, and you can very well go and fix these things in design center, and then you can see your conformance status after that in API exchange. Okay, so let's talk about conformance status quickly, then we'll jump into the demo. I will show you. So there are three level of status we have. One is a profile level status or governance profile level status. So uh, this profile level status are based on the percentage of conformant APIs in your profile. Means like your profile is normal if your APIs are more than 70% APIs are conformant, and your profile is at risk if it is less than 70% of confirmation conformant. Okay, this is don't confuse into the statuses. This is profile status. Okay, then we have API conformance statuses. Okay, these are again it indicates whether the API definition that are indicated in your profiles are pass all the governance rule sets or not. So we say API is conformant if all the rule sets are passed. Okay, we say non-conformant when our API is validated, but one or few rule sets are not passed by the APIs. Okay, we say not validated if the API that we design it's not matching the criteria, or governance profile is not there, or or it is not included in the government profile. So that is the only case where we see not validated. Okay, so these are the three different status we have at the API conformance statuses. So now let's move at the severity level as well. So severity level will categorized by percentage of past governance rule sets among all applied governance rule sets. Okay, so we'll say if our API passed it's high severity if it's passed only 0 to 40%, and it's medium if 41 to 80%. Like our aminute, right? The coverage and all. This is more our coverage only, the coverage of our rule sets, and it's low if your API is passed more than 80%. Okay, so these are the three different status we have in governance component. Okay, all right, so let's move into the demo. Before jumping into this, are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, all right, so this is I already created one raml specification. Okay, so it's a simple raml specification we have. So we have employee. We can create an employee and we can search the employee through ID. We can create a job and we can identify the job through the job code. Okay, this is simple API I have built. I have utilized a few uh, what do you say common parameters, traits we can say. You can very well see that what are the different traits we have. This header response traits we have, and header level traits we have, right? So I have created this examples and schema also we have. So I have published this one you can see. I have put this tag to just to identify our profiles or rule sets. The MuleSoft rule set I have put it. Okay, then I have created a MuleSoft profile. Okay, so and how you will create it, it's pretty easy. Nothing uh, it's complex into that. You can provide your profile name, any name you can suggest, and you can put the description about your profile that you're gonna build. Then you have to select the rule sets here, right? So you can pick any rule set out of it, and then like for example, just an I use this, and then recently they have added async API also. Earlier it was REST API only, but recently they added for async as well. So you can pick your API type, okay, and then you have to pick different tags, that is for identifying. You remember we talked about identifier APIs. So here the things will comes in the picture. So you have to identify with the tags and categories. So you can check that. Let's apply this, and category you can put it if you want it. Now after putting all this, I have these two. Just a second. Uh, so these are the two APIs are satisfying this condition. And after that, if you'll go here, you can see the notifications part. So uh, you can see recipients, right? So the person who published this API, they can get the notification the moment you will create the profile, and if they validate all the rule sets, you will get that notification. Or also you can add other team members also, or any DL also if you really want it. Okay, you can do that. The next is, now you can see overall profile. Your look like this: your profile name, your rule set name, criteria that you have selected, and the notification part, right? So same way I have created this. Okay, so I will show you on a high level. So we have a MuleSoft rule set profile. I have added this any point best practice only, just to check. And criteria is REST API and MuleSoft rule sets only. And I am the publisher only will get the email notification. Okay, so that's it only. And once you apply this, and you can see there are two APIs I already talked about, right? And you can see this demo API Mule rule set. I fixed all the problems that we have in that, right? So you can see 323 violations we have. So because of the time constraint, what I did is I create two APIs, one with the violations and one with I fix all this violation and put it here. If you really want to see these things in the design center, I have created it. But okay, let me show you quickly. Yep. So the same API, but I have fixed all these issues. Let's see what are the issues we have. They are saying lowercase these things. I have fixed that. I will show you how I fix that just for a demo purpose. So earlier it was capital. Now they are saying it should be a lowercase. So that was the issue. So I have put that. And then content type headers, right? So they are asking about the response should be your content type in header. So I have put that. So how we are resolving this? So I have resolved all this issue, and after that I publish it, and it is passed through. So you can pretty well see that, right? We have two APIs, one is conformant and one is not conformant, right? So one is on high security because we are not covering more than 40%. Okay, because it's a 23 violation, so it's a lot many. Okay, so that's what is giving the status. All right, so this is simple generic what we call as a demo for a uh, MuleSoft provider rule sets, and how we can apply that, and how we can see this what different statuses, right? Any question we can take right now?
I don't see anything on the chat. People, if anyone want to unmute and ask anything.
Yeah, because the next will be pretty interesting one. It is, I think, everybody's knows about this governance default one, right?
Yeah, and if you are having any issue looking the screen, like if it is little small, then you can do a full screen. I have given the option in the chat how you can do that. Just right click on your screen, show all controls option will be there. Click on that, and then right bottom corner you will get an option to full screen, like how you see in YouTube. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think no question. We can
Yeah.
continue.
So I already told you the different statuses, right, in the PPT itself, the profile level statuses, API conformance level statuses, and severity level statuses. So right now our profile is at risk because we have a two APIs, though 50% is there. So for normal, it should be 70%. So that's what it is in a risk level. API conformance, we have a one conformance and one is not conformant, right? So these are the two different statuses we see. And severity level, you can see one of our API is not passing the for more than 40% rule set. So that's what it's a high level severity uh, status, right? So I think pretty well. And also we can anytime go and update our rule set if you really want it. You can add it or remove it, okay. And uh, you can add it and add any let's suppose I want to add this, right? So you can pretty well go and add this comma separated one, okay, and you have to select this, and that's it. So anytime you can go and do that. And also if you really want to notify the person, you can click here, okay. uh, then add the person, and also it will go to the publisher as well. And you can export the report as well with respect to your API specific. And also at the profile level you can export it. So there are two exports we have, each API level we have also, and all the what do you say, profile level or governance level we have. So you can see now we got the uh, uh, this notification, and now the developers go and fix that up, okay. So that is the beautiful features they have added. So there is no worry to following up and all. If something's happened wrong, they can very well notify them here only just in one click, okay. Okay, now let's talk about the interesting part. Let me show see it again. Now we'll create a custom role. So for example, let me first show you what I gonna build. What is my requirement? I will tell you. Okay. Then we'll create a RAML, and then we'll create a custom rule sets as well. Okay. So I want in the title there is should be a API layer. This is experience layer or proc layer or any sort of layer. The name should be there, or whether I will tell you how it is like that. Okay. Must have a title. This one experience API should be there, system API name or proc API name or like this. So these are the pipeline symbol. You can see the or, okay. So any of this string should be there available. Otherwise we will not consider and will violate we are putting the rule set. So if they are not fulfilling this, then we'll raise an error, okay. The violation will raise it. Second thing I want, my base URL should not be a HTTP. It should be HTTPS only. Okay, that we can put. And how we can did that? I have created this. This we already have this. You use HTTPS for URLs or callback. Okay, if you go to the exchange, if you go to the exchange here, rule sets, MuleSoft provided, you can see this one. So what I did is I opened that and downloaded it, and I copy and paste in my this custom one because I need that, right? So right now we have a scattered rule set, so you can combine whichever you want in one particular rule set as well. It depends upon your requirement. Okay, so that what I utilize the existing one, and then I put layer the API version. The API version I need is here. It should be v1 v2 or like this only. I don't want any other things like 1.0 or like this, so I need to put a rule set for that. Okay, so I put that as well. So rest all are the best practices I'm following. Like I put whatever I need for my APIs to follow, I put that, and you can pretty well you can go there and see. And you might be wondering for how we will create and in which framework these custom rule sets are implemented, right? So you these are implemented in AMFL only, AMF only. That is anything modeling framework, or the language that we are using is anything modeling language. So you can go and search in the Google. You can see that. If you, I will go there. Let me see if I have. uh, AMF framework. Sorry. So you can see that GitLab. Okay. And also if you directly want there, then we'll click this. Then it will, here we can see that I will share this URL, or you can pretty well go and check that, right? So they have a different classes. If you go up, okay, these are the different classes they have. So we have to identify for our custom APIs, our custom rule set, what are the uh, uh, classes we have to use. If I say for naming, we always use this what is a web API for the naming part only. If you validate your naming convention, you have you go with this API contract.web API class. And for URL, there is a server class you have. So if you go and see that this server, okay, so these are the few fields you guys have. So for URL part, we have to follow this class. For naming part, we have to follow web API. And for other I think mostly these are the one only. And some of scalars shapes also we have. So you can pretty well go and check that. For payload, we have a payload stuff, like provide example. This class is giving you some sort of uh, functions to utilize to validate your payload. Okay, so you can go and check all this. For operations, like if you want to validate your operations or provide the description for operation, there is operation class as well, so you can utilize this. So why I'm saying this, because under this you can get all this, the core name and this few parameters, so you have to add a call accordingly. Okay, so for that you have to see. So this is I think a requirement we have to, there are three requirements I have. The version I have to control, and the title name I have to control, and this base URL should be HTTPS, and I have to add other parameter as well. So I have mixed all these things. I have created new, and I'm utilizing the existing one as well. Okay, so I have published this already, this API. Let's do one thing. Let's publish our custom rule set. Okay, how we can publish it, I will let you know. There are two way. I will give you the simplest way. There, if you have the required access, okay, then this button will pop up, and you can go here, and I will give the name of your asset, and then select rule set. And here we have a two option. Okay, whether you can directly use a YAML file, or you can have a zip. Okay, so both the things will work. There is no issue with that. I pick the YAML straightforward, and we can publish. There are two options: stable and development. You already know, right? Stable means the release one. So, and development, we you can publish again and again with the same version only. For a stable, once you publish it, if you really want to republish it, you have to increase your version, or you have to delete the existing one. Okay, so that is the basic difference. Stable means everything tested and ready to release and ready to use, and development is in progress, and you are just doing a POC or R&D. Okay, now publish it. The first step is I will tell you, the first step is what we, if you want to create a custom rule set, was first is download the rule set from Exchange that I already explained. I have downloaded and add the new ones or modify it, and then modify your YAML as per your requirement or changes that you want. then you have to validate it. So if you really want to validate it, there is a command to validate that. You can say the anypoint CLI governance rule set validation, and you have to provide the path. And how the path will be look like, I will tell you like this. Okay, or not this one, this one only. So you have to log in in your CLI, any point CLI, and then and also the version should be more than a latest version. You have to download it, otherwise the new validations commands will not run. Okay, that is the prerequisites. So you have to update. If you already have any point CLI, you have to update it with the new latest version, then only you can validate your uh, rule sets, otherwise it will give an error. Okay, so this is the command. uh, I was a bit struggling how we have to send it, but then after some R&D, this should be in a, if you are on window, then you have to put in as a string the path. Like if you see in the document, it's not mentioning properly. So I was a bit confused earlier, but now it's sorted out. So you can pass and validate it. It will validate the syntax and whatever you. It will just validate your YAML and with the with the syntax that you provided. Okay. So after that you can update it. So now it is published on the exchange. Now let's go into the design center and add as a dependency. Let's see all the rule sets are up to the mark or not. So we have added as a dependency. Let's change it. Okay, now they are saying the title present in the API like should be our system API like that. So you have to pass it. Okay, that is the first requirement. Now this rule is working. Second is, if I put 0 like this, it will give you your API version should be in a format like v1 or v29 or this one. Okay, like that only you can have. You can't use any other things, right? The third one is, let's remove this as here, and you can see that is by default we have always use HTTP as for a URL. So these are the three things, and also you can put other violation as well. Like for example, I'm not putting this display name. This is straightforward. Give you the error. It will give you the display name is required. You have to uh, put that display name. Okay, so like that we are adding it, and then I have published this also here. Okay, the same way you can see I have put custom rule set, and I have defined the tags for custom rule set and the experience API, just to identify this. Okay, now the next part is, let's see in the API governance. I hope everything is clear right now. The custom creation, the custom rule creation, and the publishing part. Are we good, Abhishek, till now?
Yes, yes, we are good.
Okay, perfect. Now let's jump into the profile. Okay, so right now we have a one profile, right? So let's create a new profile for us. Okay, give the same name. Okay, our rule set is available. Earlier it was 8. Now we can see our custom rule set as well. Okay, we can use it. We can use a REST API. We can use the tag, now the custom and the experience one. The moment will apply, it will give you the uh, the criteria matched API only. Okay, and the next, I want to see the error for this one also. I don't want to publish for publisher. I want to send this notifications to this person. And here you can see we all set for rule sets that we want to validate and criteria that want to filter out in the notification, and we enabled it, right? Let's create it. Let's wait for a minute. Our profile get created now, and the three profiles. Okay, now you can see uh, One is a normal profile, one is at risk. The normal one is this. You can see 100% confirmant. We can see that, right? And because we are following all the rules that we applied for in this, and this is the custom one that I we talked about. Where it is? Okay, the custom one. Okay, so everything is okay, and here you can see two is confirmant and one is not confirmant. Let's go here and see the status as well. See, here you can see your status, confirmance status here also. This is 100% confirmant. And if you want to go with any demos one, you can see that it is not confirmant. So you can see the status as well. Okay. All right. So now let me add it and add just give some errors. Let me add this security one, and let's see. I just put intentionally so that I need to get a email notification how it is automatically generated or not. Recently I'm facing this issue. It is not generated automatically, but ideally it should be. But let's wait for it. uh, I really don't think it is getting generated, so that we need to check with our team, because it's behaving, sometimes it's behaving correct but sometimes it's not. So that is weird. We have to focus on. No, it's not working there. So let me go. Uh, yeah, that will work. There is no problem. Okay, I'll just notify it. And let's remove this again. You can very well go, but the problem is you can remove, but at least one rule set should be there added. Otherwise, it will not you allowed to update it. Okay. Now we have changed it. Did I? Now it's 100% confirmant again. Why I'm not getting earlier one? Any? Did I miss something? I really don't know. Sometimes it's we have weird, but we see that right in our demo during the first demo how we can notify it. So that things I think we need to check with our team, the MuleSoft teams, and we have to raise this concern why it's not behaving properly. Uh, I think I'm done, Abhishek, with the two of the demo. If anyone have any what is say question, please
Question.
let me know. I will help you out on this now.
Yeah. So, Gaza, do you have any reference or link about what you have discussed? Do you have anything such that, like the steps or the commands which you were saying about? Do you have anything like that which you can share over the chat to the people?
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Just a second. I have created one simple text file. I will
Mhm.
share with them. Okay, one more thing I have to explain is I forgot. Just you remind me. Thank you for that. Let me show you how we can publish the documentation. Where is? Let me share it again. Are you able to see my screen?
Not yet. Yeah, now we can see.
Okay. Okay. So the one challenge is I will tell you here. Okay. The manual part that we did, the publishing part, right? So the problem with this, you will not able to see the documentation, even though in our rule sets we have a proper documentation. Okay, but we are not able to see that, right? So it you can automate it, or you can very well go and uh, add it if you want. If you have a already have a template, then you can just customize it and publish it, right? But that again a manual part. You can also do the documentation automatically, that at least for the provided rule sets, right? So how you can do that? So for that we have to follow. There are three steps. I just missed that. So we are up to now this one, right? Now we have to generate a document, okay, and we'll publish it. There is two command for that. So we'll talk about how we'll generate the document first, and then how we can publish it. Okay, so to generate a document, we have to follow this command. So API CLI governance document, this is the command itself, and this is the path of the YAML file, and this is the file that you want to create it as a. We have to give this pattern ruleset.docs.zip. Okay, otherwise it will not gonna work. Provide the path of the YAML, and then where you want to create this ruleset.docs and .zip file. Okay, let's play with this. Okay, I already have these commands already. Okay, this we are talking about this command, how to generate the document. So my YAML path, yeah, YAML file path is this. As you can see, this is the path my file have. Okay, and I want to create this ruleset.doc.zip in that particular folder only. So let's go and get it. So now you can see they have validated and create the default documentation. I will show you here. Okay, they create a ruleset.doc. When you open it, you will see all this. And let's further open it. You can see this one. This is the format they have. Okay, a template format they have. And the moment you publish it, then you will see the documentation like this. If I show you, if you already aware the rule sets, you will be see look like this. Okay, now the first step is done. We have created it. Now let's publish it. To publish it, we have to focus on few things. Okay, this is the command basically. So this is command, and through this asset upload to commands, we will publish our document that we created right now to the exchange. First parameter is we have to provide the rule set name. Okay, we'll provide the rule set name that you want to publish it. Okay, the rule set name is this. Okay, this is the description, this is the rule set name. Okay, now then the description you have to publish it. Now the file, the rule set file, you have to provide that parameter. And the files dot rule set dot zip, you have to provide, you have to create a zip like this. This zip is different because it's a document zip, and you have to create a zip for simple zip. In that you have your rule set only, nothing else. Okay, so that is done. That is the one part. Second is you have to provide the rule set asset id basically, and then the version, which version you are publishing it. So right now you can see here we have a two version. uh, Let me go back. We have a 1.0 and 1.1, right? So they recently add some changes and publish it. So that was the versioning we are talking about here. Okay, and then you have to give the docs zip file path. Okay, so I have created my sample commands here. As mentioned here, the guidelines, we give the name. This will be the name, and this is the same I put as a description. And the file name is my rule set name only, ruleset.yaml only. And the zip that I have created right now, this one. Okay, and the next is the id name is custom best practices. Let's meet up. And then the docs file that we generated, right? This one, the doc file path we have to create it. That is you have to have and then run this command. Okay, now the problem is, I think I have to go here. I have to delete this. I don't know. This is for only. Uh, let's run this meetup. Okay, meetup if you go into rule set dot docs. Oh, wait. I did wrong, something wrong here with the rule set. There is a naming problem, is there? Mm, let's put demo. I don't know why this is stick with the naming. I faced this issue earlier as well with the same error. So how I fix that? I give the new name of
You miss the C in custom.
all set. I believe everything is sorted. Now let's generate it again. Generate first zip file, simple zip, and let's run this command again. Created. Now run this command again. Custom demo. I hope it should work. Oops. Mm, status message authentication server yet to token. Why it is like that? Let me let's change. Oh, now it's working. Okay, because of the session is timed out, right? That's what the problem is. It will take a minute or so. Meanwhile, time we have any question?
Any question from anyone? I don't see anything from the chat. Maybe if anyone want to ask any question.
All right. So, guys, and as a best practice is what I will suggest is first uh, do one thing: go to rule sets, the MuleSoft provided, check all the capabilities, all the rules that they have, and then if you're working as an organization, if you want to add or if everything is already have, then customize is in one place if you want it in one rule set, copy paste in there and tried it. Okay, otherwise you can also categorize it. It's well to categorize, otherwise how we'll know like in which rule set is violated in which category, right? So they are just putting some categories sort of, so you can also play with that as per your requirement. Okay, so that is always the best practice. And again, one more thing is if you really want to more dig into these classes and all, use the go this framework and check these classes and what they are providing us. Okay, you can pretty well utilize them. Now it is published. Let's go. See here, you can see. Now you can see all the documentations are created perfectly fine. What we have created, see, provide the title for API. If you go back to home, then layer, you can see whatever the description we provided, you can see that. But also we can customize more on it, but it's all depends on the requirement. Okay. I think we are good with the documentation publishing part also. So today we learned about how we can utilize the default rule sets as per our requirement, and how we can add few or create one custom rule sets, and utilize all the other rule sets in one file, and how we can generate the documentation and how we can publish to the exchange. Okay. So usually for industry best practices, we will capitalize these commands in our Jenkins. So no, like it's a recommended approach as well. Will not provide all these permissions. We always have a secure process to follow. So we'll pretty well you can utilize these commands in CI/CD and create a Jenkins and publish or validate your rule sets. I think I'm done.
Thanks, Gaja. Anyone, any question?